Well, that's to come, but first, £1.34 a mile. That's what we could end up paying under plans announced this afternoon by the UK government for road charging. It would vary depending on the type of road you're using, but it's bound to have a big impact on how we all use our cars. We asked one transport expert how it would affect him. Anthony Beresford travels 3 miles to work every day across Cardiff. This is his journey.
My name's Dr. Anthony Beresford at the Cardiff Business School. I'm a lecturer and expert in road transport. I'm heading along my normal journey to work to see how the new scheme on road tolling might affect the costs of getting to work. My average mileage is around about 200 miles per week. About half of that is journey to work and back, and the other half is out of Cardiff motoring. The cost of getting to work might go up by about £2 per day, but the comparative cost against taxi still means it will be very favourable to use the car. One major weakness of this new scheme that's being proposed is we simply won't know our costs in advance. Red light at the traffic lights here, so presumably the new scheme will determine that we get charged more for stopping. In urban areas, the government is really heading for a nice little earner. If targets are exceeded, will we get money back? I suspect not. I'm now arriving at work. It's only taken a few minutes to get here. I would be quite happy overall with the cost of this as we stand, and indeed with the cost of the new scheme, by virtue of the lack of alternatives.
Well, I'm glad to say that Dr. Beresford has made it through the rush hour traffic to join me in the studio now. Dr. Beresford, what's your biggest fear about these charges?
I think my biggest fear is that we're going to polarise the community into those that end up paying an awful lot more than they previously did by virtue of the taxation, and quite a few million indeed countrywide who actually will be better off. But it's those who will be a lot worse off that really concern me.
And they're going to be in the urban areas because they're the most expensive roads.
That's absolutely right, yes.
So what's it going to mean for the average commuter or indeed rural driver?
Well, a lot of motorists are really a captive audience. They're not going to switch to other modes, partly because of practical reasons. They physically can't. The bus routes are not convenient to them, or their geometry of travel is too complicated to use anything other than the car. The other group, of course, are travelling on routes that are relatively quiet, the rural routes, but they are numerically relatively few, and they will be charged low fees, which will be fine, but it will not generate much revenue.
So very briefly, do you think they can work?
No, I don't, to be quite honest.
Dr. Beresford, thank you. Now, some news in brief. The Broadcasting Authority, the Office of Communications, has published its